When your dog picks up their favorite toy and brings it to you, do you actually know what they're trying to tell you? Yes, it looks like they want to play, and sometimes they do. But behind that gesture, especially when it happens at specific moments, there's something most owners never think to examine. It's one of the most emotionally revealing things your dog will ever do. And if you've been misreading it, which most owners have, every single time you might be missing a message your dog has been trying to deliver for as long as you've had them. Let's start with the one that catches everyone off guard. 1. This isn't about the toy. Have you ever come home after a long day, opened the front door, and before you've even taken off your shoes, your dog is already there, not just wagging, not just spinning, but holding something in their mouth? Their ball, their rope toy, that one stuffed animal they carry everywhere, and they're not dropping it. They're just standing there, holding it, looking at you. Most owners laugh at this. They call it adorable. They take a quick video and move on. But here's what most people never stop to ask. Why the toy? Why not just greet you the way they normally would with their body, their tail, their voice? Why does the toy need to be part of this moment? Here's what's actually happening. When dogs experience intense emotion, excitement, joy, the overwhelming rush of their person walking through the door, they need somewhere to put that feeling. Their body isn't enough of an outlet, so they grab something. And the thing they grab in that moment isn't random. It's almost always something that belongs to them. Something that matters. Research from the Budapest Family Dog Project, led by Adam Miklosi at Eötvös-Loránd University, has shown that dogs are uniquely capable of using objects as social tools, not just for play, but for communication and emotional expression. The toy in your dog's mouth when you walk through the door is not a play invitation. It's a greeting gift. It's your dog saying, in the only physical language available to them, I was waiting for you, and this is the best thing I have. Think about what that means. Out of everything in your home, they chose their most valued possession to mark the moment you came back. That's not random. That's devotion expressed through the only vocabulary they have. And this is only the first layer. By the end of this video, you'll discover what it means when your dog brings you their toy at a completely different kind of moment, not when you arrive, but when you're upset. And that one will change the way you see your dog forever. 2. The difference between playing and giving. Why does your dog sometimes drop the toy at your feet and back away, and other times hold on to it and nudge your hand with it? Most owners treat these as the same behavior. They're not. They're two completely different communications happening to look almost identical on the surface. When your dog drops the toy and backs up, that's an invitation to play. They're initiating the chase sequence. They want the toy thrown, chased, returned. Their body language is forward, eager, bouncy. Their eyes are bright. They might bark once or do a little spin. Everything about them is saying, let's go. But when your dog brings you the toy and holds it, nudging it towards you without releasing it, that's different. Their body is softer, calmer. They're not bouncing. They're presenting. That's a dog engaging in what animal behaviorists call object-mediated bonding, using a physical item as a bridge to create or reinforce social connection. Julianne Kaminski at the University of Portsmouth has spent years studying how dogs use objects in social contexts with humans. Her research has confirmed that dogs are remarkably sophisticated in how they deploy objects to communicate, and that the way they present an object tells you as much as what object they chose. A dog that brings you something and holds it gently, making eye contact. Waiting that dog is not asking for play, they're asking for connection. The toy is just the thing they use to start the conversation. The mistake most owners make is immediately grabbing the toy and throwing it, and the dog goes along with it because fetch is still fun. But the original message got lost. What started as an emotional offering became a game, and your dog, who came to you looking for something specific, got something different instead. 3. Why they bring their favourite one specifically. Has your dog ever walked straight past 3 other toys on the floor to find the one specific toy they always seem to care about most, just to bring that one to you? Most owners assume the dog just grabbed whatever was nearby, but watch it happen carefully and you'll notice it almost never works that way. Dogs have preferences. Specific, consistent, sometimes inexplicable preferences. One toy becomes the toy, and the fact that your dog searches for that particular one to bring to you is not coincidence. It's curation. Here's what makes this so significant. Dogs are hardwired around resource guarding. Their instinct, inherited from thousands of years of survival, is to protect their most valued possessions, not share them, not offer them, protect them. So when your dog brings you the thing they value most, the one toy they sleep next to, the one they carry room to room, the one they'd normally take to their safe spot, when they feel threatened, they are doing something that goes directly against their most basic instincts. They're choosing you over their instinct. They're saying, "This is mine and I'm giving it to you," not because they no longer want it, but because you matter more than having it. That is not a small thing. That is one of the clearest expressions of trust a dog is capable of making. And hey, if this is already making you see your dog's behavior differently, hit like and subscribe. We want to reach every dog owner who deserves to understand what their dog has been trying to say all along. Help us find them. 4. What it means when they bring it to you when you're upset. Remember at the beginning when I said there's one specific moment that changes everything? This is it. Have you ever been going through something hard, sitting quietly, maybe crying, maybe just staring at nothing with that particular stillness that comes from being emotionally exhausted, and your dog walked over and dropped their toy in your lap, or nudged it against your hand, or just stood there holding it, looking at you? Most owners find this equal parts heartbreaking and confusing. The dog clearly isn't trying to play. The energy in the room is all wrong for play. So why the toy? Here's what behaviorists believe is happening. Dogs have been documented bringing objects to distressed humans in what researchers describe as comfort-seeking behavior on behalf of another. The dog detects through scent, posture, and sound that something is wrong with their person. They want to fix it, but they don't have the tools we have. They can't make tea. They can't say the right words. They can't call someone. All they can do is show up and offer what they have. The toy is everything they own. It is the full extent of their material world, and they're placing it in your hands because in their mind, if this thing makes me feel better, maybe it'll make you feel better too. That logic is not human logic. It's something older and more pure than that. It's a creature that loves you, trying to give you the only comfort they know how to give. A 2012 study published in Times Animal Cognition Times by researchers Wen et al. Found that dogs demonstrate what's called emotional contagion. They not only detect human emotional states, but are motivated to respond to them, particularly in cases of distress. The toy offering behavior in response to owner distress is one of the most commonly observed expressions of that emotional contagion in domestic dogs. So the next time your dog brings you something when you're hurting, don't brush it off. Take the toy. Hold it. Let them see you receive it. Because what they just did was the bravest, most generous thing they know how to do. And it deserves to be met with something more than a distracted pat on the head. 5. What they're trying to tell you when you ignore it. What happens when your dog brings you their toy and you don't respond? Maybe you're busy. Maybe you're mid-conversation. Maybe you've seen it 100 times and it doesn't register as something that needs a response anymore. So you just let it happen. The toy gets dropped, the dog waits, nothing comes back. And eventually they pick it up again and wander off. Most owners never think twice about this. But your dog did. Dogs track the outcomes of their social bids with extraordinary precision. Every time they initiate contact with a toy, with a paw, with a nudge, they're waiting for a signal that tells them whether that initiative was received. When nothing comes back, their brain files a result. That approach didn't work. The Budapest Family Dog Project has produced substantial research showing that dogs are uniquely sensitive to human responsiveness in a way other animals simply aren't. Dogs don't just want to be near people, they want to be acknowledged by them. They want confirmation that the signal travelled, and when it repeatedly doesn't, something shifts. A dog whose toy offerings are consistently ignored doesn't stop loving their owner, but they do stop offering. The behaviour fades because behaviour that produces no response gets extinguished. And the tragic part is that most owners never notice the disappearance. They just wake up one day and realise their dog doesn't really do that cute thing with the toy anymore, without ever connecting it to the dozens of times they didn't look up when it happened. You don't need to drop everything every time your dog brings you something, but you need to give them something back. A look. A word. 2 seconds of full attention. Touch the toy. Say thank you in whatever ridiculous voice you use when nobody's watching. Let them feel that the signal landed. That's enough. That's all they were ever asking for. 6. The dogs who bring you things they found outside. Has your dog ever trotted back to you on a walk carrying something they found on the ground? A stick? A stone? A crushed plastic bottle? Some unidentifiable debris from the side of the path? And they look so pleased with themselves, tail high, eyes bright. carrying this completely worthless piece of garbage like it's made of gold. Most owners find this funny, and it is funny, but there's something real underneath it. Dogs that bring found objects to their owners during walks or outdoor time are exhibiting a behavior rooted in the same gifting instinct we've been discussing, but with an additional layer. They found something in the environment, and their first impulse was to bring it to you, not to chew it alone, not to guard it, to share it. This traces back to a behavior pattern seen in wolf packs, where food and objects of value are brought back to the group rather than consumed in isolation. Your dog doesn't see a crumpled water bottle and think, "This is garbage." They see something novel in the environment, and their first social impulse is to include you in the discovery. There's also a practical element. Dogs who bring found objects to their owners during walks are often dogs with strong retrieval instincts who have learned that returning to their person with something in their mouth produces a positive reaction. They're not being random. They've identified a behavior that makes you smile, makes you engage, makes you notice them, and they've decided it's worth doing every single time. Either way, instinct or learned strategy, the result is the same. Your dog found something in the world and brought it back to you. That impulse to take whatever they encountered out there and return it to your hands says something simple and enormous at the same time. You are the center of their world, even when they're out in it. 7. When the toy offering stops what it's really telling you. What does it mean when a dog who used to regularly bring you toys has simply stopped? You didn't notice it fading. But looking back, you realize it's been weeks or maybe months since they brought you anything. And now that you're thinking about it, something feels different about how they greet you too. Less effusive, more contained. Don't dismiss this. When a socially expressive behavior disappears in a dog, it's rarely because they outgrew it. Dogs don't outgrow affection. They withdraw it when something in their environment or their relationship has made expressing it feel less safe. The most common causes are gradual and almost invisible in the moment. Repeated ignored offerings, as we discussed. Increased stress in the home. A shift in routine that has disrupted their sense of security. Changes in how they're being interacted with, more corrections. Less positive engagement. Less time that's genuinely theirs. None of these feel dramatic when they're happening, but dogs keep a record their behavior eventually reveals. Veterinary behaviorists note that a reduction in spontaneous social behavior, including play initiation, contact seeking, and object offering, is one of the earliest behavioral indicators of stress or emotional withdrawal in domestic dogs. It often appears long before more obvious signs like aggression, house soiling, or appetite changes. If your dog has stopped bringing you things, the path back isn't complicated. More positive interaction, more play that lets them win. More moments where they approach you and get something warm and real in return. Rebuild the evidence that reaching out to you produces good things. Given enough of those moments, the toy comes back, and when it does, you'll know exactly what it means. 8. How to receive it the right way. Everything we've talked about leads here, because knowing what the toy means is only half of it. The other half is knowing what to do when it happens. Most owners receive their dog's offerings on autopilot. The toy appears, they glance at it, maybe toss it without thinking, and the moment passes. But every time your dog brings you something, there is a brief window, a few seconds at most, where the way you respond either deepens the bond or quietly diminishes it. Here's what receiving it the right way actually looks like. When your dog brings you their toy, stop what you're doing. Fully, not partially. Stop. Look at them. Make eye contact that's soft and warm, not staring, just present. Take the toy from them gently, even if just for a moment. Hold it. Let them see you hold it. Then give it back. You don't have to throw it. You don't have to turn it into a game if they weren't asking for one. Just receive it, acknowledge it, and return it. That exchange, the giving and the receiving and the giving back, is the entire conversation your dog was hoping to have. Say something while it happens. It doesn't matter what you say. What matters is the tone. Warm. Directed at them specifically. Something that tells them this moment registered and they were the reason for it. Your dog has been walking up to you with the best thing they own and placing it in your hands. Not every time, but at the right times. At the times that mattered. At the door when you came home. By your side when you were breaking. On the couch when the house got quiet and they just wanted you to know they were there. They weren't asking for much. They were just asking to be received. And now you know exactly how to do that.